They say some places hold memories. Not just the kind you can see in old photographs or hear in the stories of people who lived there, but memories that linger in the walls, in the air, in the dark spaces you try not to look at for too long. I never believed in that, until the night I found the room in my grandmother's house. It wasn't there before. I swear it. I'd spent every summer in that place since I was 6, and there was never a door at the end of the hallway. But one stormy night, after the lights flickered and went out, I saw it. A plain wooden door, slightly ajar. It felt wrong, somehow. The kind of wrong that makes your skin crawl before your brain can even explain why. I told myself it was nothing. I was tired, the storm was messing with the power, maybe I'd just missed it before. But the longer I stood there, staring at it, the more it felt like something was waiting on the other side. Watching. I don't remember walking toward it. My feet moved on their own. Every step heavier than the last. The house seemed unnaturally quiet, even with the storm raging outside. The air thick, like it didn't want me to breathe. I reached for the doorknob. Cold as ice. Turned it slowly. Inside, darkness. A room I'd never seen, even though this was supposed to be the edge of the house. The space smelled of damp earth and something metallic. I could hear a faint sound, like someone breathing, slow and deep. I should have run. But I stepped inside. The floor felt soft, like old, rotting wood. I couldn't see anything, but the sense that someone was there with me was overwhelming. A voice, close to my ear, whispered my name. I spun around. Nothing. Another voice, this time on the other side. Then another. My name, repeated over and over, each time in a different tone, a different cadence. Some voices sounded like my family. Others didn't. I stumbled back, reaching for the door, but it was gone. There was only wall where the door had been. The whispers grew louder, more desperate. I clawed at the wall, screaming, but no one could hear me. Just when I thought the voices would consume me, a blinding white light filled the room. And I was alone again, standing in the hallway, as if nothing had happened. The door was gone. But ever since that night, I hear them when I try to sleep. Whispering my name from the shadows. There was a boy in my old town who used to talk about something he called the pale man. Said it would stand outside your window at night, its face white as paper, eyes like holes burned through a sheet. No one believed him. Kids made fun of him for years. Until one summer, when a storm knocked out the power in half the town, and people started seeing it too. A tall, white figure standing at the edge of their property lines. Never moving, just watching. The boy disappeared a week later. No one found a trace of him. But to this day, people swear if you look out your window during a storm, you might see a shape just standing there, waiting. And if you do, never look away. I once worked the night shift at an old roadside diner. It was one of those places where the jukebox only played 3 songs, and the coffee tasted like burnt wood. Most nights were dead quiet, just the hum of the lights and the occasional trucker passing through. Until the night a woman walked in. Dressed in a long, faded black dress, face pale, eyes dark. She sat at the corner booth and didn't order anything. Just sat there, staring at me. I tried not to look, but I could feel her gaze. The clock on the wall stopped moving. I realized no one else was there. No traffic. No sound. Just me and her. I asked if she needed anything. She didn't respond. I turned to grab a cup of coffee, and when I looked back, she was gone. The seat empty. But on the table, a silver locket, warm to the touch, with my name engraved inside. I've never worked another night shift since. There's an abandoned church on the outskirts of town. Kids used to dare each other to break in, swear it was haunted. One night, my friends convinced me to go. The inside smelled like old wood and wet stone. The pews were rotted, the stained glass shattered. But the worst part was the altar. Covered in old, dry leaves and what looked like the remains of burned candles. On the wall behind it, someone had scrawled words in a language I didn't recognize. As we turned to leave, the doors slammed shut. The air grew thick. A cold wind whipped through the space, though no windows remained. Then, one by one, the candles relit themselves. A low chanting filled the air. Something ancient. My friends screamed and ran. I couldn't move. From the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow step from behind the altar. Tall. Wrong. Its arms too long, face obscured. It raised one hand, pointing at me. And then everything went dark. I woke up outside, alone. My friends were never seen again. No one talks about that place now. They say the ground itself refuses to grow anything, as if the land remembers what happened there. A friend of mine told me about an old radio station that only broadcasts at 3:33 a.m. No one knows where the signal comes from. It plays static for a few minutes, then a soft, female voice begins to speak. The voice tells you things. Things you don't want to hear. Secrets about your past. About your future. About people you've lost, or people you will. Some say if you listen long enough, you'll hear your own name, followed by a time and a date. And when that date arrives, you'll vanish. Gone without a trace. Only the radio keeps track of you after that. They say every town has its stories. But some are more than stories. They're warnings. Glimpses into a darker world, always brushing against the edge of ours. And if you listen closely, you might hear them. In the static. In the silence. In the whisper that calls your name when no one's there. Don't follow it. Don't answer. Because once you do, you'll never come back.